220 days. That's how long we had waited. For the last 4 years, the passing of time sounded like a distant, familiar tune being aired underneath chaotic frequencies. 9th grade, 10th grade, 11th grade. Every year we came closer to adjusting the sound, to ending with ear-piercing madness, to finding just the right spot where the song's sound was abundant and the sea of static had stilled. And now, finally, our moment was here. Graduation. I sat among my peers within the church's massive auditorium. Despite all of our individual characteristics, today we were united. A pool of maroon, with a shallow end and a deep end. Friends and family members bustled within hallways, through doorways, and upstairs. Fervent delight was embedded in their expressions, while their conversations of anxious excitement removed any traces of placidity. Younger brothers and sisters eagerly pointed at their graduating siblings. Mingling parents tossed their heads back with laughter, and those who were not a fan of crowds impatiently searched for a seat. A smile tugged across my face as I admired the diverse collection of people who had all gone out their way to gather here for the same purpose today. I turned to see the teachers, all seated in neat rows behind the podium, chatting amongst themselves. I felt pressure from their presence, but it was something I became acquainted with, even comfortable. They were like the handful of jelly beans popped into the mouths of Harry, Ron, and Hermione. Some were bitter, others sweet, some like earwax, others like heaven. Yet in the end, you knew you'd have to try them all, whether you wanted to or not. As the first speaker of the ceremony walked on the stage, the room fell silent. Words of what I assumed to be wisdom and encouragement blew like wind above and below my ears, but never once in them. My mind wandered to the taste of childhood, the touch of adolescence, and the sound of the almost real world. In the distance, I could hear the speaker's voice, although his or her words were like the wah-wah-wahs heard by the teacher in the Charlie Brown shows. My mental slideshow of sunrises at bus stops, anxiousness to hear my last period teacher say seniors can go, and scrapes from strangers' binders scratching me the hallway was interrupted by a sudden image of a room. For the first row of students stood up, preparing to walk up the steps at the side of the stage. The countdown had begun. A's, B's, C's. I watched the faces I had come to recognize over the years past, one by one, across the platform. Most beamed with happiness, while others remained smug, not wanting to bruise the precious reputations they had nurtured during their high school careers. I felt a subtle stone of pity in the small of my stomach for these ones, curious as to whether or not they would be introduced to a slap of reality or end up living lives of quiet desperation, as Thoreau had once said. D's, E's, F's. Another step closer. My hand darted toward my hair, instinctively tucking rebellious strands behind my ear. I watched a cute boy I would never talk to humbly walk across the stage. People always seem to say that was butterflies that fluttered in your stomach when you saw these people. People with those perfect crooked smiles who surprised you with a please or a thank you, who had just enough charm to be alluring, yet enough clumsiness to know they were just a playful mess. But that wasn't the case. They were butterflies inside of you. They were fireflies. They adorned you with their unique luminescence that you were always so desperate to retain. Yet, right when you thought you had the fragile creature inside your jar, they had vanished. And when you least expected it, they would show you their light once again. I picked at my non-existent fingernails. G's, H's, I's. My foot began to rock up and down. Another familiar name was called. I watched the steady and confident stride of the girl who I'd always wanted to be walk across the stage. She was like the warmth of a curling iron. If you got too close, you'd burn yourself. She was the type that should have provided you with sunglasses when she smiled because of the shine. The type that never got distracted from the work she was completing in class. The type that could appear to balance her public, personal, and secret life all with no sweat. The type that always seemed to know what to do. J's, K's, L's. L. I felt my legs straightening automatically and soon realized I was walking toward the stairs, single file, among my peers. Ambivalence was a drum pounding inside me. The entire auditorium was senseless beating, the hammering, throbbing, thumping. This pulsating sound must be aching the ears of every listener. But then this treacherous build-up subsided. The moment had arrived. I was next. This was the magician's favorite trick, the ringmaster's final act, the finale of every laugh, tear, grade, and memory in the last 4 years of my life. Savannah Lyons. Trumpets, French horns, cellos, and violas, oboes, and bassoons. A majestic array of strings and percussion rushed into my eardrums, filling me with the stability I needed to walk across that stretching stage. Shaking my principal's hand after receiving my diploma was like a glass of ice water after dying of dehydration. I felt my mother's jovial tears and my father's warm smile. My older brother playfully messed up my hair, and my little sister jokingly acted surprised I had actually graduated. I had graduated. Accomplishment trickled down my spine. The remaining names were called like cars on the highway. I was on the side, in the medium, enjoying the blurring of colors, various speeds, and different destinations. After the final names were called and all of the students were once again seated, our principal stood behind the podium one last time. "Let's have a round of applause for the class of 2011, he said. And with that, I removed my cap, tossed it in the air to twirl and collide with those of the people around me, and carelessly wondered where it would land. Delicious ambiguity.